G'day guys, Mark here, Enerdrive Electrical and DC Auto Fit Outs. Just a quick video today about our power solutions for being off-grid in your van, your motorhome, camper, whatever you've got. What I'm going to do today for you is show you what we're using, what we're running, and the type of usage and performance we're getting out of our system so that you know. So I'm going to take you downstairs here and show you the actual system, show you what we've got running. Let's go and have a look. Now our system consists of the 200 amp Btech. We've got AC and DC chargers mounted in there, the 40 amp, both of them are 40 amp and the 40 amp plus for the DC charger. We've got fusing and everything mounted in there. She's tied in there, but we've got the 2000 transfer switching inverter so we can run all our power requirements off the battery. And I'll just liven up the display. We'll have a look. It's 9:30 in the morning. We'll roll through the voltages and we'll see the current. We're charging at 30 amps at the moment out of 620 watts of solar on the roof. It's October to give you an idea, so you know, nice clear sunny day, getting excellent solar. And now I've cut back over to the actual ePro. We're only actually putting 23 amps in, even though it's producing 30, because we do have two fridges running off this system, 40 Ingle outside and 110 litre Dometic upright in the actual van itself. We're at 81%. Now I can tell you this morning we were at 63%. And last night, before the sun went down, we were at 100. So we're going to monitor this system. We're going to use the inverter a bit, and we're going to show you what sort of performance and give you some feedback, real live data about what our system's doing. We'll check back soon. Okay guys, it's 10 past 11 now. We're at 100%. Current's backing off. Batteries are basically fully charged. We're going to turn the inverter on, run the aircon for a bit, cool down the van for a bit of a siesta in the middle of the day. And there it goes, just shut off there. Now a little bit about our system, what we're running. We've got two fridges running all the time, and we've got a 12 volt water heater running all the time. 12 volt water heater pulls 25 amps when it cycles on. Doesn't need to cycle on a lot just to maintain the temperature. So we've got a little bit of consumption coming on. As you can saw from this morning, we pulled about 75 amp hours off the system overnight. So I'm just going to fire up this inverter and let's have a look at some figures of what it's doing, and give me 1 second. Okay, we've fired up the aircon. It's running there at about 780 watts. As you can see, we're pulling 34 amps out of the system now. We've got about 34 coming in on the solar, so that's offsetting it. So we're going to run the system for a little while. Keep in mind the aircon will cycle on and off, so it doesn't run at that all the time. It's just about 11:15, so let's run it for a while and monitor the system, and we'll get back to you with some more data. See you soon. Alright guys, the system's been running for an hour. We've dropped down to 77%. We're still pulling around that 37 amps. A little bit higher actually. We're pulling about 890 watts on the actually. And we do have a bit of cloud cover coming and going at the moment. So you can see that current going up and down. That's as the solar drops output and then comes back into full strength again. But we've been running for an hour and we've dropped a little over 20%, 23%. So we'll let it go for a little bit longer. If you're having a snooze during the middle of the day, it makes it nice and comfortable. And we'll see how the system recovers for the afternoon. Alright guys, hour and a half, aircon's been running for. We've just shut it down. As you can see on the meter there, just light that back up again. We're down to 67% after running it for an hour and a half. We're back charging again, 35 amps going back in. It's not going to take too long to recover this system. So as you see, we can have a bit of a snooze through at the middle of the day, turn the aircon on, be a bit more comfortable. And we never really designed this system to be running air conditioning and stuff like that. The van itself is an older van. It's got an old Heron 2.2 split system in it. It's not a very efficient aircon system, and being a pop top, the insulation as far as through the canvas and stuff like that's not that great either. But you can still knock a bit of heat out of it, have a snooze through the middle of the day, and I'm sure we're going to see this thing recover. Even though if we look outside, You can see we've got some clouds starting to move in around the place, so the conditions haven't been the best as far as we haven't had full solar output the whole time it's been running either, so it has dropped a little bit more than it would if we had perfect sun. And as you see there, we've dropped down about 7 amps of charging. It'll flare back up as that cloud moves over. But let's see how the system goes. We'll get back to you shortly. Alright guys, end of the day, 5 o'clock. It's not really the end of the day, but might as well call it. The solar's pretty well shut down now. The sun's gone behind the trees. We've only got back to 90%, which is, we would have liked to see more, but it did come over overcast throughout the afternoon with a lot of shading going on. But we're still happy, we're at 90%. We've got plenty of battery power to see us through the night. Let's go and we'll just zoom in on the app. Alright, so looking at the app there, see we've got to 90%. We've got currently drawing about 4 amps. As I said, we've got 2 fridges running off this thing, so one of the fridges is probably running there, a couple of little bits and pieces. Alright guys, 3 days of camping. We're, as you see on the display, we're back at 100%. Now, a brief overrun out of what we've achieved over this short period. First night we dropped to 63%, so we'd taken off 74 amp hours out of the batteries overnight. We recovered that fully during the day. We turned the aircon on for an hour and a half. We got back to 90% by the end of the night. And the reason we didn't get back to 100 is we had a lot of cloud cover coming and going throughout the afternoon, so we just didn't get the returns that we would have liked. But then that night we only dropped back to 68%, so we were already 90% down. We dropped, well, I shouldn't say 90% down, we were already down to 90% remaining. Then we dropped down to 68 overnight. So we had about 64 amp hours to get back to full. We managed to get back to full very quickly the next day, no problem at all. Then the next night we were using the microwave and a few other bits and pieces. We sucked 100 amp hours out of the battery. We're down to 50%. And then by about 12:30 we're full again. So brief rundown, we're running constant load of Dometic upright fridge, Engel fridge outside, 12-volt water heater which pulls 25 amps. When it does cycle on, it does cycle on and off and maintains temperature between 45 and 50 degrees. We've got it cycling out at 50 degrees. Obviously we've got water pumps, lights, inverter. We're using a bit of power, 620 watts of solar on the roof. So it was just to show you guys what you can achieve and how much power you can use with the type of system we've got. We never intended this system to really run the aircon, but it does show because we've seen people write comments about how you can't run your aircon, it will never run, blah, blah, blah. You can. You've just got to be mindful about how much power you've got in reserve as far as how many batteries you've got and how much you can quickly generate that power again. And obviously, if the weather's not so good, you need to adapt and adjust and cut back your usage. So if you need a system design and you're trying to achieve something, come and see us, because we obviously use the stuff ourselves, so we know where we need to be at. We build and design systems for people so that we can make sure we get a system that's going to work for your needs and your requirements. So hit us up on the website or give us a call. Thank you.